welcome to today's video. In this video, we will discuss regarding the cultural shock. So let us dive deeper into the topic cultural shock and discuss what it means and what it belongs to. What is culture? Culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, norms, customs, traditions, and practices that define a group of people. Culture is learned and passed down through generations and influences aspects like language, art, religion, social habits, and ways of life. For example, workplace culture in an organization determines how employees communicate. What is cultural shock? Cultural shock is the feeling of confusion, discomfort, or anxiety that individuals experience when they are exposed to a culture vastly different from their own. This happens because the norms, values, behaviors, and customs of the new culture may clash with what they are familiar with, making it difficult to adapt individually. Cultural shock has multiple stages, so let us discuss what they are. There are 4 stages of cultural shock: honeymoon phase, frustration phase, adjustment phase, and acceptance phase. We will discuss each phase into detail. The honeymoon phase involves the excitement and curiosity of experiencing the new culture. The individual feels enthusiastic about experiencing a new culture and is curious about its differences. The individual has positive perception. Everything about the new culture seems fascinating, unique, and enjoyable. There is a sense of adventure in the individual. The individual feels like a tourist, eager to explore new places, meet new people, and try new things. Also, the individual is optimistic. There is a general feeling of happiness and positivity as the individual embraces the novelty of the situation. The next phase is frustration phase. There is feelings of frustration. Cultural differences become more noticeable, leading to frustration or irritation. Language barriers are noticed. Struggling to communicate effectively can cause stress and isolation. Also, there is a feeling of homesickness. Missing familiar people, places, and routines intensifies during this phase. Frequent misinterpretations of cultural norms or behaviors create a tension. Also, there is a cultural fatigue. Adjusting to the new way of life feels overwhelming and exhausting. One feels isolated in the new culture and feels isolation. The third phase to observe is adjustment phase. The individual begins to feel more at ease with the new culture and its differences. Here the person tries to adopt the new culture and starts to learn and adapt their culture, their norms, and their behaviors. They actively learn the language, customs, and social norms of the culture to fit it in better. Problem solving. Challenges are approached with practical solutions rather than frustration. The last phase observed is acceptance phase. The individual has started to accept the new culture. The individual fully accepts the new culture as part of their life and they are integrated into the new culture. Their differences are viewed neutrally or positively rather than negatively, so there is a balanced perspective. Dual identity means that the individual balances aspects of their original culture with the new one. And there is reduced stress. Adaptation reduces feelings of anxiety, homesickness, and frustration, and now the individual is completely adjusted into the new culture. Now let us discuss these all phases with the help of a business example. Sarah, a dynamic marketing executive based in Europe, has been promoted to lead her company's new branch in Saudi Arabia as a marketing head. Excited yet apprehensive, Sarah embarks on this professional and cultural journey which soon exposes her to stages of cultural shock. Now let us discuss the honeymoon phase faced by Sarah. Initially, Sarah is fascinated by Saudi Arabia's culture, vibrant traditions, and hospitable people. She eagerly exposes the local cuisine, visits historical sites, and enjoys learning about the company's customs. This phase feels like an exciting adventure and she is full of optimism. Next, Sarah faces frustration phase. Over time, Sarah starts facing challenges in adapting to Saudi's conservative work environment and societal norms. She struggles with understanding gender roles, communication barriers, and adjusting to the workplace, leading to feelings of frustration and isolation. But she started to adjust here, and then comes the adjustment phase. As weeks go by, Sarah begins to understand the reasons behind the cultural differences and adopt strategies to bridge the gaps. She builds relationships with her colleagues, respects local customs, and starts finding balance in both her personal and professional life. Now she has accepted the new culture, and then comes the acceptance phase. Eventually, Sarah embraces the cultural diversity and feels at home in her new environment. She appreciates the unique aspects of Saudi culture and successfully integrates them into her marketing strategies, thriving as a leader and enjoying her new life. Now let us summarize all the four phases. Honeymoon phase involves excitement, innovation, captivated by the new culture, enthusiasm and optimism of experiencing the new culture. Frustration phase involves a frustration, anxiety, isolation or homesickness or irritation faced. Adjustment phase involves adjustment, adopting into the new culture, understanding and learning their customs, norms, and traditions. And the acceptance phase requires accepting the new culture, adjusting there, accepting all their values and traditions, and integrates themselves into the new culture. So this was all in today's video, and we here discussed the four phases of cultural shock which are experienced usually.